All right, just give me a second here. There we go. We should be on right now. All right, sorry about that. My camera just crapped on me as it is. Technology constantly disappoints you in some way. um, Sorry about that. I got distracted by my gen device, is what I call it. Anyway, continuing once more. Um, where were we? Um, okay, that process is the recollection of the things our soul saw when it was traveling with God, when it disregarded the things we now call real and lifted up its head to what is truly real instead. For just this reason, it is fair that only a philosopher's mind grows wings, since its memory always keeps it as close as possible to those realities by being close to which the gods are divine. A man who uses reminders of these things correctly is always at the highest, most perfect level of initiation, and he is the only one who is perfect as perfect can be. He stands outside human concerns and draws close to the divine. Ordinary people think he is disturbed and rebuke him for this, unaware that he is possessed by God. Now take me Now this takes me to the whole point of my discussion of the fourth kind of madness, that which someone shows when he sees the beauty we have down here, and is reminded of true beauty. Then he takes wing and flutters in his eagerness to rise up, but is unable to do so, and he gazes aloft like a bird, paying no attention to what is down below, and that is what brings on him the charge that he has gone mad. This is the best and noblest of all the forms that possession by God can take for anyone who has it or is connected to it, and when someone who loves beautiful boys is touched by this madness, he is called a lover. As I said, nature requires that the soul of every human being has seen reality. Otherwise, no soul could have entered this sort of living thing. But not every soul is easily reminded of the reality there by what it finds here. Not souls that got only a brief glance at the reality there. Not souls who had such bad luck when they fell down here that they were twisted by bad company into lives of injustice, so that they forgot the sacred objects they had seen before. Only a few remain whose memory is good enough, and they are startled when they see an image of what they saw up there. Then they are beside themselves, and their experience is beyond their comprehension because they cannot fully grasp what it is that they are seeing. Justice and self control do not shine out through their images down here, and neither do the other objects of the soul's admiration. The senses are so murky that only a few people are able to make out with difficulty the original of the likeness they encounter here. But beauty was radiant to see at that time when the souls, along with the glorious chorus, meaning, we were with Zeus, while others followed other gods, saw that blessed and spectacular vision and were ushered into the mystery that we may rightly call the most blessed of all, and we who celebrated it were wholly perfect and free of all the troubles that awaited us in time to come. And we gazed in rapture at sacred revealed objects that were perfect and simple and unshakable and blissful. That was the ultimate vision. And we saw it in pure light because we were pure ourselves, not buried in this thing we are carrying around now, which we call a body, locked in it like an oyster in its shell. Well, all that was for love of a memory that made me stretch out my speech in longing for the past. Now, beauty, as I said, was radiant among the other objects, and now that we have come down here, we grasp it sparkling through the clearest of our senses. Vision, of course, is the sharpest of our bodily senses. Although it does not see wisdom, it would awaken a terribly powerful love if an image of wisdom came through our sight as clearly as beauty does, and the same goes for the other objects of inspired love. But now beauty alone has this privilege to be the most clearly visible and the most loved. Of course, a man who was initiated long ago or who has become defiled is not to be moved abruptly from here to a vision of beauty itself when he sees what we call beauty here. So instead of gazing at the latter reverently, he surrenders to pleasure and sets out in the manner of a four-footed beast, eager to make babies and wallowing in vice. He goes after unnatural pleasure too, without a trace of fear or shame. A recent initiate, however, one who has seen much in heaven, when he sees a godlike face or bodily form that has captured beauty well, first he shudders and a fear comes over him like those he felt at the earlier time. Then he gazes at him at the reverence due a god, and if he weren't afraid, people would think him completely mad. He'd even sacrifice to his boy as if he were the image of a god. Once he has looked at him, his chill gives way to sweating and a high fever, because the stream of beauty that pours into him through his eyes warms him up and waters the growth of his wings. Meanwhile, the heat warms him and melts the places where the wings once grew, places that were long ago closed off with hard scabs to keep the sprouts from coming back. But as nourishment flows in, the feather shafts swell and rush to grow from their roots beneath every part of the soul. Meaning, long ago, you see, the entire soul had wings. Now the whole soul seethes and throbs in this condition, like a child whose teeth are just starting to grow in and its gums are all aching and itching. That is exactly how the soul feels when it begins to grow wings. It swells up and aches and tingles as it grows them, but when it looks upon the beauty of the boy and takes in the stream of particles flowing into it from his beauty, that is why this is called desire. When it is watered and warmed by this, then all its pain subsides and is replaced by joy. Okay. When, however, it is separated from the boy and runs dry, then the openings of the passages in which the feathers grow are dried shut and keep the wings from sprouting. Then the stump of each feather is blocked in its desire, and it throbs like a pulsing artery, while the feather pricks at its passageway, with the result that the whole soul is stung all around and the pain simply drives it wild. But then when it remembers the boy in his beauty, it recovers its joy. From the outlandish mix of these two feelings, pain and joy, comes anguish and helpless raving. In its madness, the lover's soul cannot sleep at night or stay put by day. It rushes yearning wherever it expects to see the person who has that beauty. When it does see him, it opens the sluice gates of desire and sets free the parts that were blocked up before. And now that the pain and the goading have stopped, it can catch its breath and once more suck in for the moment the sweetest of all pleasures. This it is not at all willing to give up, and no one is more important to it than the beautiful boy. It forgets mother and brothers and friends entirely and doesn't care at all if it loses its wealth through neglect. And as for proper and decorous behavior in which it is used to take pride, the soul despises the whole business. Why? It is even willing to sleep like a slave anywhere as near to the object of its longing as it is allowed to get. That is because, in addition to its reverence for one who has such beauty, the soul has discovered that the boy is the only doctor for all that terrible pain. This is the experience that we humans call love. You beautiful boy, I mean, the one to whom I'm making this speech. You are so young that what the gods call it is likely to strike you as funny. Some of the successors of Homer, I believe, report 2 lines from the less well-known poems, of which the second is quite indecent and does not scan very well. They praise love this way. Yes, mortals call him powerful winged love, but because of his need to thrust out the wings, the gods call him Shove. And the footnote says the lines are probably Plato's invention, as the language is not consistently Homeric. The pun in the original is on eros and pteros, meaning the winged one. You may believe this or not as you like, but seriously, the cause of love is, as I've said, and this is how lovers really feel. If a man who is taken by love used to be an attendant on Zeus, he will be able to bear the burden of this feathered force with dignity. But if it is one of Ares' troops who has fallen prisoner of love, if that is the god with whom he took the circuit, then if he has the slightest suspicion that the boy he loves has done him wrong, he turns murderous, and he is ready to make a sacrifice of himself as well as the boy. So it is with each of the gods. Everyone spends his life honoring the god in whose chorus he danced, and emulates that god in every way he can, so long as he remains undefiled in his first life down here. And that is how he behaves with everyone at every turn, not just with those he loves. Everyone chooses his love after his own fashion from among those who are beautiful, and then treats the boy like his very own god, building him up and adorning him as an image to honor and worship. Those who followed Zeus, for example, chose someone to love who is a Zeus himself in the nobility of his soul. So they make sure he has a talent for philosophy and the guidance of others. And once they have found him and are in love with him, they do everything to develop that talent. If any lovers have not yet embarked on this practice, then they start to learn using any source they can and also making progress on their own. They are well equipped to track down their god's true nature with their own resources because of their driving need to gaze at the god. And as they are in touch with the god by memory, they are inspired by him and adopt his customs and practices. So far as a human being can share a god's life, for all of this they know they have the boy to thank, and so they love him all the more. And if they draw their inspiration from Zeus, then like the Bacchans, they pour it into every soul of the one they love in order to help him take on as much of their own god's qualities as possible. Hera's followers look for a kingly character, and once they have found him, they do all the same things for him. And so it is for followers of Apollo or any other god. They take their god's path and seek for their own a boy whose nature is like the gods. And when they have got him, they emulate the god, convincing the boy they love and training him to follow their god's pattern and way of life so far as is possible in each case. They show no envy, no mean-spirited lack of generosity toward the boy, that they make every possible effort to draw him into being totally like themselves and the god to whom they are devoted. This, then, is any true lover's heart's desire. If he follows that desire in the manner I described, this friend who has been driven by mad by love will secure a consummation for the one he has befriended that is as beautiful and blissful as I've said, if, of course, he captures him. Here, then, is how the captive is caught. Remember, all right, for now, you know what? I'll take a break. I think that's inspired me enough to proceed into writing something of my own, as it were. And so I shall go at my standing desk and write. All right, I just wrote a post. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to read it.